Hey y'all, Sunny here,
Hey, this is your girl Liv.
and welcome to
Colorful Situations, a conversation about love, marriage, and everything in between. Yes, yes. Y'all know the drill. So, the drill in being that what we do here, if you caught a couple of our episodes, you should know by now that we are talking about the feeling wheel and what colors and where we are, where our emotions lie. So we're going to check in with each other as we always do. Beautiful young lady, where are you at?
Today I am feeling insecure.
Want to talk about it?
I don't.
Okay.
But when you look down on the color wheel, insecure, it falls down to, or it comes out of feeling scared. But I don't necessarily feel scared. So that's how our feelings work. Like,
Right.
you may not feel on the surface,
Yeah.
but something deep down.
Yeah.
Or it could work the other way. Like, I could feel scared, but then it's not really scared. It's just that I'm feeling insecure. So it really kind of works either way.
It could. That's good.
So let me change it to purple. So how you feeling today?
So for me, I am going to say that I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this topic because the story that I have to tell is going to be a good one.
Okay.
It's going to be a good one. So I'm just excited. But I'm also just excited about just new journeys in my life, new things that are coming up for me. Just feeling secure and knowing that I am on a journey, right? Sometimes when we start on something, we're feeling like, well, where is this taking me? And I'm just really enjoying the ride of getting to know who Olivia is.
That's good. That's a good
so
feeling.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
And I'm excited for you to get there.
Look, tell me. So I'm gonna be orange.
Good job. Orange.
Yes. Okay. So today's topic is my sister's keeper. Am I my sister's keeper?
What does this mean?
So, have you ever been around when someone has hurt your sister, or who may not be your biological sister, but your friend, right? That person that is your ace, boom, ride or die. And it's a situation where, she got girly coming around y'all, her dating situation or whatever, and girly may pop off at your sister, or something's happening, somebody is saying something or hurting your sister. Are you your sister's keeper where you just jump in line and put that person in place?
I think it's a time and place for everything. So I would say yes for mine. But I know my boundaries.
I think that's a very good point. That's a very good point because, you do want to jump in. And I would say, yes, you're your sister's keeper because sometimes you're the only person that your sister can go to say the things that she needs to say. But you have to keep yourself in check and in boundaries because that doesn't mean that you get to pick up that fight.
Right. Yeah, every fight is not mine because I got my own.
Right. Right. And not even that. You don't want to take anything away from your sister, right? And sometimes you are just there to just be that listening ear. But sometimes it can't always be that way. I am excited because I'm about to say a story time. So, this is Colorful Situation Story Time Edition.
I'm excited.
So let me tell you. To know me and to know my family's probably gonna be rolling right now. And they're probably like, oh Lord, which story is she gonna tell? But to know us is to know that we're pretty close when it comes down to the generations of cousins. And so my cousins went through something really tough. They had a loss in their life, a really important loss in their life. And we were all together to celebrate the loss of my aunt. And this is a time where, it was quick, it was sudden, and like we didn't really know how to deal with it. Okay. So we all decided, hey, we're going to go hang out with each other. We just going to go hit the town. So to know our families also, to know that the guys click together, the girls click together. So we're all hitting the town, but we're separately hitting the town. The boys doing their thing, girls doing their thing. We hit the town, we come to a red light. Now, let me just say, part of this is we are in Los Angeles.
It's rough out there.
It's rough in them. We just rolling. We got all this going on. My cousin is driving. The one who has this loss, she's driving, right? She got her baby sister in the back. We all just chilling because we gonna hit the strip. We hitting it. We just go.
Well, so is this somewhere that y'all normally hang out, or that y'all familiar with?
At the time, okay. Everybody hit the strip.
Okay,
right. And even though I lived in Dallas, Texas, or whatever at the time, I'm with my people, my family. This is a place that we would go. We would always visit each other, so it wasn't like we hanging out.
You were new to the scene.
Yeah, we hanging out. So it's like my two cousins. It's me. It's my sister. It's my cousin's girlfriend, and it's my brother's girlfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. Now, this lady, Kim, she, God rest her soul, she was very just, everybody loved her in our family, right? Because she was in our family. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell her no different from anybody else, right? So we all in the car, whatever, got little kids in the car. So we just rolling. We just, maybe drinking a little, whatever. But we go. We come to a light. We look over. People looking back. We look over. Yes. People looking back. Looking. My cousin. What? What are you looking at? Hey, what we got going on?
So what you want? Hear about it.
What you want? What do you want? Okay. So the girls, they yeah, rah, yeah, just we do this, whatever. Honey, my cousin jumps out.
Yeah, I've been drinking.
And look, we all jumping out. And so they didn't really have much to say, because in that point, we were cousins, sister, whatever, but all of that. That night, we were one, and we was all down for each other. All down for each other, and was about to get batty. What you want? You on it? You jumping? I'm jumping. You on one? I'm on one. So we get back to the house. And the guys come pulling up, and they was like, "Was that y'all? We see y'all in the street. Was that y'all
out there cutting up?
Cutting up." I said all that to say, don't mess with my family, but also,
oh my goodness.
But also, it is a true thing, right? It's a true thing that sometimes you get into these situations where, hey, I'm gonna have your back, and I'm not gonna ask no questions.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You got that life?
Let me tell you something. My hair.
You got that life?
I'm not. So that's why I'm gonna tell you, as my hair, that you need to keep yourself under control. Okay. Because I don't fight. I call the police. Okay. I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't. If you looking for me to fight, don't call me that day. Call somebody else. Be riding with somebody else, because I am not fighting. I'm too old to be fighting.
Okay.
And I love you.
Yo, I know
I'm not fighting. Girl, keep your mouth closed. We'll talk about it when we get home. As long as ain't nobody slap you in your face, you good. All that other mouth that you blah, 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 keep it to yourself.
Now, what if somebody did slap you in the face?
Then we getting in the car and I'm calling the police.
Well, you gonna have to. Well, first of all, let's know the hurt that you got. Well, let me go back to we were young, so we were teenagers. You know, we were young adults. At this point of our life, we wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? This is something totally different. Now we'll say. This one over here. This one over here. Now you got her there. I got you back all the way.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm never going to put you in a situation where you have to.
And I understand that. And I understand that. I understand that. And I also understand me. I'm not gonna put you in that type of situation either because we're too old. I'm about to hit 50. Like ain't nobody. That was way, way, way back there. But I said all that to say that sometimes we just need that person in our lives that can be the gatekeeper, the secret keeper, the emotional support, the hey, get up, you finna go and do something. The, hey, don't let this happen to you. Or just, I'm not gonna say a word, but I'm gonna be right there with you. I'm gonna be in that car with you. Mm-hmm. So it is such a thing.
Oh, you know what? I have been in a few cars a few times, but I that was when I was younger. That was a long, long time ago. That was in my life before this one.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago. So yeah.
Okay, well.
Now that I think about it.
So it's saying all that. The questions, we have a couple of questions as we always do. The first question I want to pose is, should you just step in and take her bat along without even asking her?
I think that in some situations it's okay. In some situations it's okay. And you also have to be mindful of who it is that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So who your sisters, whoever their partner is, you have to be mindful of that person and what they have going on, what their mindset is. And you also have to know what you have to kind of just be mindful of what your sister has shared with you, or what she even wants to. Y'all have to be connected in that way to know what she wants you to expose that she even shared with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, people that know me know that is one thing that I do not play about is domestic violence.
Yeah.
So if you come to me with that, I gotta go out. I either go all the way or no way at all.
Someone please call 911.
So when it comes to that, no, I don't. It's not something that I appreciate. And if it's something that you're bringing to me, you must want some
help. Yeah.
But the other things, I mean, I think you just have to kind of like play by ear. And what you're standing up for. Now, if we just out having fun and all of a sudden somebody get to talking crazy or feeling some kind of way, you messing it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Calm down. Get yourself together.
Put that drink down.
Yeah. So I just say it depends.
Yeah.
I think, yes, you can be, but again, it goes back to those boundaries that I was talking about earlier. You have to know your boundaries.
For sure. I do think that it should be a conversation. Like, if it's something that you notice within their romantic love life, then maybe you should be like, sister, I noticed X, Y, and X, Y. You all right? You good? What is this about? Like, tap in maybe a little bit and ask and see what it is, before you just jump and leap. Because I have seen situations where people are out with their loved ones and then their friend is around and then the friend is always in the loved one's face and always like this, that. Now you can't have too much bark than what your friend got. Like if your friend is not checking the boo, who are you to check the boo?
Far back.
Yeah, like
far back.
You know what I'm saying? So just have a little bit of like check in with her first and see, because it may be something that she just needs to vent to you about, but doesn't need anybody to do anything about it, or may not be ready to do anything about it.
Right. That too. Yeah.
So if you do check in, you can say, "Hey, I'm rowdy. I'm about it when you about it. I'm ready when you ready. If you need that help."
Yeah. And I think also some people have like those playful joking relationships where they could get stuff across to a person in a certain way where it's not like aggressive. It's not aggressive, and maybe you can slide one in for your sister, like, okay, don't get your head busted in over there. Don't
learn how to duck.
Yeah, keep it together. You might not want to do that over here because we get out.
Right.
Stuff like that. So sometimes that can make it a little bit better.
I do agree. Something you do have to know your sister. You have to know the situation. And it might not be something that's with a romantic. It could be with the kids, right? It could be maybe she's a parent that's struggling and need to know how to figure it out. You can't parent everybody's kids, right? And you knowing that you are always there majority of the time, I would still say check in with that person because a lot of times, sometimes people just don't play with their kids. Now they love you to death, and I know you around, and I'm gonna say that you their auntie, but you can't just come here and pull your belt off and think that you're gonna get with my kids. Now for me, I have had people in my life who has helped me in a time where I was a single parent to do things with my children, and I trusted them enough to correct them in such a way that I knew that it wasn't outside of.
So I learned a long time ago when I had, dating people with kids, that if I wanted to have some kids where I could have a say so in their life, I needed to have my own. Yeah.
So we also talked about just being a safekeeper for your sister, like getting her information and locking it in. So what's the balance and fine line if you just gonna jump in and fight all of her battles? How do you do that without that person knowing that she's telling you what she's telling you? And is that important?
I think it depends on what's the relationship.
Yeah.
Because if this is like is this a family thing? Are we always in family gatherings? Are we having conversations?
Yeah.
When conversations come, if we're maybe playing games and conversations come up where questions can be asked and then people can be held accountable for their thoughts or actions or lack thereof and things like that. I think that's a way to get it out. If it's a family thing, if we all sitting around talking, what family talk about? Any and everything.
Yeah.
So if we talk about any and everything, you might come up or you might not come up, but somebody else, because ultimately somebody else had your story.
Yeah.
Somebody else has had your issue. Somebody else is going through it. Yeah. Whether it's in your family, whether it's your sister, cousin, your homegirl you went to school with, and all that kind of stuff. So everything is not about you.
That's true.
Be clear. Everything is not about you because everybody's going through something.
That's true.
But a hit dog will holler.
Well, yes, they will. So, I mean, I do agree. I agree with everything that you said. There is a fine balance or whatever, because you don't want to break that trust either. Right. If your friend is trusting you to hold some things, and then the minute you get upset or the minute you see her hurt, you just lash out and say everything in front of everybody, that's not going to mend for a good relationship between you and your sister. So now you're maybe putting her in a situation because, you talked about domestic stuff. You got to be mindful of that. You're not the one that got to go home.
Right.
You may be setting her up for something that's totally different when she leave your presence and go back home. Now, this person knows that everything is out, not sacred between the two of them. And like you said, sometimes when people feel or know that another person knows what they're doing, that's going to totally change the whole dynamic of the friendship. of their relationship, and then how that other person is acting. Because now it's like, oh, now the defense is gonna go way up. So if they wasn't in a couple situation,
they are now.
So they are now.
Don't get your room ready over there, honey. So when they need to pack their little bag and come over to your house,
honey, because you done painted purple and blue and red all over they stuff.
Pretty much.
So, and I think we covered pretty much everything. So you want to check the levels?
So what we want to do is kind of check your levels to see if you have any familiarity with this topic. Feeling like you're your sister's keeper and you gotta be rah-rah and you just gotta go hard. If you right now feeling like you have to go hard for your sister, cousin, best friend, homegirl, sister from another mister, and you going hard and don't know what to do, you're in the red. Now, if you're yellow, this is where you are feeling like, okay, well, I am my sister's keeper. I kind of dibble my, I dibble and dabble a little bit. I sometimes step over the line a little bit, but I don't go too far. She's still living over there. You're in the yellow. But if you have it under control and you know where your sister stands, you know where your boundaries are, you know how far to go, you're in the green. So, yeah. So that's us checking levels, and just drop down in the comments and let us know. Let us know if you ever been in a fight, jumping out in the middle, jumping out in the middle of the street because somebody was looking at you crazy. You in the red. Y'all was in the red.
Hey, we was in the red that day and we had it.
Just saying. Glad we grew out of that.
So now it just comes to resolve. What resolve we have for you? This is kind of a sticky situation because it could go to the left real quick. And you never really want you don't want that tension because you do want to create family for yourself, or most of us want to create family. So when you have your sister and your loved one together and you're able to be around each other, that may be your center of peace, just having your family and your friends with you. But when you mud that up and now the sister don't want to come around because she don't like your lover, and then your love, and then now that's something totally different. So for me, I would say know the boundaries. Let's talk sister to sister about boundaries. Like have a code word. When I talk to my her, there is a code word that says, this is right here between the two of us. If I talk on this subject, then you don't get to come over here and say nothing to nobody. You don't get to check my boo. You don't get to do anything on this subject right here.
I think I would say for the sister that is the sister of the sister's keeper, also be mindful. Even though this is your her and you feel like you can, still just be mindful because sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you can, using what you just said, you can kind of muddy the water.
Yes.
But ultimately, if that's what it is, that's just what it is. Whether you see it or not, at some point you're gonna see it yourself. So I say the sister also be mindful.
Yeah.
So
because you can't. Sometimes you may have 4 or 5 different hers, and you may not tell them all the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I understand that. I totally understand that.
Be careful.
I totally understand that. And I think too, just the other thing would be use caution. Like how you said. Everything doesn't have to be so rah-rah. If you see something going on with your sister and your mate and you have that relationship with the mate to be able to talk to them, consider your audience. You don't have to do it in front of everybody.
Right. Yeah.
That's one thing.
Makes it worse.
That makes it worse. You don't have to do it in such a way where it belittles them. So you can talk to them, but also make sure that you have that connection with them. If you haven't really got that connection with them and don't know them like that, that may not be your place to tell them anything.
Go home, man. Go home and just hope it don't happen again.
And then call your sister and be like, hey, you made it home? Now let's go to brunch tomorrow because I got something to ask you.
Right. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So since we are an interactive podcast, we are going to pose some questions here and post them down in the comments so that you all can kind of share with us your thoughts and feelings on this topic. So the first question is, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were a bodyguard, security, where you had to be security for your sister because somebody's over here doing something they ain't got no business doing? If so, how did you handle knowing that something was happening to your sister? Did you go rah-rah? Did you pull her aside and have a little conversation with her?
Yeah.
And lastly, how did you keep yourself from going rah-rah if you did go rah-rah? And how do you keep it suppressed when you're not, when you're able to keep those things under wrap? Is it too much pressure? Well, wait a minute. You know, it can be a lot of pressure to keep things.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of pressure to keep your sister's thing, sometimes depending on what it is. So I think that might be a whole. I mean,
another episode.
Yeah, that might be something else. Yeah. Okay. Don't forget, drop down in the comments to answer those questions, and we will be looking out for your answers.
Yes, please do. And any tips or anything, like we always say, anything that you can share, any questions that you have, whatever, feel free to express yourself because we're a community. We're here to help. So we talked about being my sister's keeper. Like, you know, are we supposed to fight her battles? Are we supposed to be there to where we protect her? You know, or is that someone else's job to protect her? So we came with some resolve. The first resolve was know your boundaries, right? Know what it is for each other. Know what is off topic and what is on topic. You know,
what's acceptable.
Yeah, what's acceptable. And also maybe too with that, kind of know your place. Know your place.
Yeah. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, right? Unless at some point, like you, of course, we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. Of course not. So if that's something else, then yes, you know, you need to do what you need to do. You can be like my boo up here and call 911, whatever it is that you need to do.
And if you have to question it, then you need to fall back. Yes. You might need to fall back and put some more thought into it before you act.
I agree. I totally agree. The other thing was know your audience. Know who it is that is hurting your sister. If you have a connection with them and you're able to speak with them, then that may be, you know, something that you can do. But if you don't, no, don't even go there and even talk about it. And then like my sister said, it's just when you are the person that may be hurting or maybe someone is doing something to you, know who and what you can tell your information to, right? Know what her or what sister you can, because you may not want to tell that righty one. Or you may not want to tell that one that you know is going to hang up the phone and gossip to the other one.
That part.
Pick who you can, who can hold it, and who is mature enough to hold the pressure for you.
Yeah. Who can help you? Yeah, didn't we talk? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one. Okay, y'all. Well, we have come to the end of our conversation for today. We want to thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. We'll be looking for it.
Please do.
And remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your hue.